Hi, folks, everyone.
Hi there, welcome to today's Business Growth Club show. We are so pleased to have you here. The theme is growth marketing.
We're talking about actions and consequences today.
It's all about purpose.
Driving business growth with using KPIs.
We're talking money mindset.
The Growth Club, I mean, not to oversell it, but it's so well organised. So yeah, it was totally invaluable.
The Growth Club, coupled alongside with the Masters that I'm doing at Strategic Leadership at the moment, both of those things happening collectively have definitely transformed, and the Growth Club did have a massive impact for our business.
What is it that attracted you to come to the Growth Club in the first place? Let me just start off with that.
Well, because it was the two of you, basically.
Good evening, folks. So this is Mahmood here, Jo, my lovely friend and partner to my left over there, Jo. Apologies for that little faux pas at the beginning. We're dead excited, actually. We're dead excited for a few things. One, what we were talking about last week, we're going to run through some bits there. We've actually put together, taken our own advice and done a bit of rebranding. We got excited by all the visuals and all the hard work that's done. And we're going to be talking to you about a great event that's happening on the 18th of March 21.
We are, and it's going to be so cool. And, you know, we're sort of on the edge of all sorts of opportunity now. And it's about going and grabbing it, going for it, taking action and doing the right things and get ahead now, because what we're referring to as Bounceback Summer and beyond is on its way. So we've got some really cool stuff, and you're right, we are excited. So that's why we were pressing all sorts of different buttons and things. There we go.
If anyone can notice, by the way, we deliberately just good evening to you. If anyone, let me just get her on the screen here. She's doing wonderful. She's one of our wonderful supporters, friends, viewers, listeners too. So Jess, I hope you're doing well. Hope life is good in the tax fast lane. Now, for those observant amongst you, I don't know if you noticed, we left something deliberate mistake, as people would say, that we left on the screen. And as we whiz through our beautiful presentation tonight, you may notice some key differences itself. So excuse the boyish enthusiasm and excitement and the faux pas, but, you know, I'm excited to do this show every single week with Jo. I'm excited for the takeaways that people are getting from the show, and I'm excited about the stuff we're going to talk about tonight. So stop rambling, Mahmood, and let's say hellos. Coming on replay, #replay, so we know you're out there. Friend of the show.
Hi, Richard. Hope you've had a good Tuesday too. I always love starting Tuesdays. Mahmood and I, we get together at 7:30 every morning. So what better way? And we have done that every week for nearly a year. It's next week is our anniversary, Mahmood.
It is actually. We should be doing. See, if we were meeting in person, Jo, we could actually go for a nice lunch, dinner, have some cake or whatever. So we're going to have some virtual cake, I think, being sent.
I think we definitely are. So, and we've got Janice with us as well. Hi, Janice. How are you doing? And now Janice is a proofreader, and she says, "Hey, you've got subtitles. I just hope they're spelt correctly." So they're automatically generated. I imagine there will be a few comedy ones in there with the artificial intelligence. Now, we've got so much to cover in this show because we want to talk you through all the things that you can be doing right now to get match fit and raring to go for the world as it's changing, opening up. There is hope on the horizon. We know we've got a budget tomorrow, so we'll see what that brings. Mahmood, you'll have your finger on the pulse on that one, I think.
Yeah, I'll be broadcasting talking about the budget, but it's a separate thing. But I think you raise a great point there, Jo. I don't know if you're getting it as well, but I'm getting the feeling of it's like springtime, isn't it? So you've had the darker times of autumn coming to winter, then spring comes, the flowers start to blossom. I'm picking up a really good feeling amongst lots of people. I know there's still challenges and uncertainty, but you're right. This is an ideal opportunity now to think, do you know what? The mood is changing, the landscape's starting to open up a little bit more. I need to grab these opportunities and grow my business for the next year or so.
Yeah, and I also think if we perceive the mood to change, we change our mood, and we affect the mood.
Oh, I love that.
So
Yeah.
we can all do a bit, and and create that positive cycle, really. So I think, is this Jez, are you offering to get us some cake, or are we getting you the cake? That's for our anniversary. Yes. And we will indeed, we'll blame the bots if there are some comedy typos. Let us know if they come up in the subtitles. So shall we get on with the show, Mahmood?
Why don't we?
Good stuff. Yeah.
Let's have a bit of a drum roll and introduce, and let's see if people can actually spot the differences as it comes through. So, So we're going to talk not just about this is not a selling exercise, by the way. Obviously, we'd love you to join us on that day. It's going to be a get it done. So lots of people are time poor. So you've got great ideas, great initiatives, things you want to do, but you may not necessarily be able to devote the time for a longer outcome in terms of a course. So this is something that me and Jo are really excited about. So I get it done. You're going to be walking away with lots of goodies. A get it done business plan on a page. Notice the new typography on the business growth tree. So that's replacing the one that's on there at the moment. So
yeah, that's our money tree.
Yeah, that was it. Well, I knew there was a particular phrase for it, Jo. You just put your finger on the pulse of it straight away.
Yeah, and if it doesn't actually look like a money tree, it's our money tree, not the money tree. So if you know what a money tree looks like, you'll know what I mean. But we're very proud of that, and we really like it. So, and thank you to Ruby and to Jovan, who are helping us with our branding. You're making it all look really great. So Get It Done Bootcamp. This is where you come and spend some time with us, 10 till 2, as it says there. We will give you some input. It won't be like this, where we can't see you. We'll be on Webinar Jam. It's a professional thing, and we'll be face to face, so you can ask us questions. It's a small group, and we can really get stuck in. We're going to share some content with you, and then give you some space and some support in working through some stuff for your business, so you will go away with it in your hand. But don't worry if you can't make it, or if it's not for you. We've actually we've got the roadmap of things that you can be using regardless, and we'll make a start with it, shall we?
100%. I mean, look, we would love obviously you to turn up here. And me and Jo, by the way, have got, in terms of working, in terms of training, development, imparting knowledge, helping people here, probably quite a number of years behind between us. So we want to make this interactive. We know some people are getting Zoom fatigue. We know some people are thinking, I can't do another online session. Do not look at this as a being talked at session. This is a roll your hat sleeves up, get stuck in interactive session. So we're really working actively on the activities, the exercises, everything goes well. Now, if this works, Jo, look at that.
Look at that, seamless. So the mission for the Get It Done Bootcamp is you will come away with your revenue growth plan for the rest of 2021. You'll think about your value proposition, which is your unique offering to your customers, the things that make you stand out. And it's not just about knowing what that is, it's also about being able to communicate it and make the most of it. We'll talk you through and walk you through how you can make the most of the products and services that you sell, and how you can do that more profitably, and how you can grow sales by focusing on the right things. All of this, our two business brains focused on your business in that space. We'll look at customer growth for existing and new customers, and we'll help you with your pricing strategy. All of that with financials and KPIs. This is the nitty-gritty stuff that matters. We can do lots of light, stuff around the edges. We're going to be creative. We're going to be interactive. We're going to have fun, but it's purposeful, and it is the stuff that makes the difference in business success.
Yeah, so within that roadmap, everybody, you're going to get all those key ingredients that you need in any successful growth plan. Knowing who you're selling to, knowing what you're selling, knowing how to focus on what to sell. What actually makes you money, by the way, by money we mean profitability, generates the cash for you to sustain yourself, milestones, how you can measure and monitor your success. And if you think this sounds quite a grandiose idea here, it's going to be really sort of impactful, and it's applicable to your business. So whether you're a service business, manufacturing, sole trader, large company there as well, there's going to be some great takeaways for you to do there. All these things me and Jo have talked about over the last, year really, that we've done it in our Business Growth Club, and we've done it on the broadcast here. We're going to distill those down so you can actually apply that in your own situation.
Definitely. We just got, before we leave this slide, just Janice says it's talking about KPIs. that is funny.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
Yeah, not it might have been KP crisps, but maybe I'm showing my age. I don't even think KP crisps exist anymore.
Keep us up to date with those little transcription errors, Janice, please.
Yeah, and while we're there, Jez says it's your anniversary, so the cake was a token gesture. Thank you very much. We're always appreciative of cake. So, so that's what we're going to talk you through as well. And it's, as we say, it's our business brains working for you. So insert your photo there. We'd love to have you along. And just to say a bit about us, really, we spend a lot of time sharing stuff. We want to give you some insights and some ideas and inspiration and things you can be doing for your business. And it's not very often that we stop and talk about ourselves. And I'm very proud to work with Mahmood. He, apart from really knowing his stuff, he's a fantastic proponent for actually everybody getting to grips with their numbers, building confidence, and he communicates that in such a way that it's really, really supportive. It's engaging and it's fun as well. And a lot of people don't know that Mahmood has got a background in education. So a lot of people turn up on the interweb and just start teaching stuff. Well, from both Mahmood and myself, we are actually qualified and trained and experienced at helping people get to where they want to be in business. So, we come here Tuesday evening, we're live. We hope you enjoy it. But actually we're here to make a difference. So we don't often say that. And I just thought it's worth letting you know a bit about our background. Because you used to teach, didn't you, Mahmood?
I did. I've had the privilege of, in my career, I'm actually a qualified teacher at University of London. I've taught in primary school, I've taught secondary, I've taught vocational, postgrad, undergrad, all levels. And you said that about me, Joe. That's very kind of you and very nice of you to say so. But I'm going to share also likewise. When I first met you, and I stalked you in a very nice way, look at all the wonderful stuff you shared, and straight away it struck me about how much you did share with people out there, even if they weren't actually clients of yours, even if they weren't connected to you. You've got that real big, strong ethos about wanting to help people, wanting people to do very well in their innovation, their creativity, unlocking and unleashing that. And as I got to know Jo more, she's had an absolutely stellar career in terms of corporate world. And one of the things that attracted me to Jo, why I like teaming up with her, is because fluff has its place in business. The lighter side, and you've got to have that. It's not just all dry numbers, but actually Jo comes with a strong DNA of actual, what I call hard business skills here, having worked both in the corporate sector and applying that. And I think it's a great compliment. And I personally speaking think that what we showcase people is very short in supply, and it's actually all round business knowledge. So Jo's got great integrity, great ethos. She recognises that businesses have to make money, make it in the right way, a strong ethical code and integrity code, and she wants that for all of you. So without the risk of making Jo get very embarrassed and red, she is a great proponent for the business world and a great person to work with.
Oh, thank you. And likewise, and we are very much in touch with many of our Business Growth Club members, and wherever we can support them, then of course we absolutely do. But there's one thing I've got to share with you, Mahmood.
What's that?
This is I'm very proud to talk with my mood. Janice, we ought to have you. There's a role for you on every show, picking out the comedy subtitles. I think that's awesome.
Is it in Countdown or something similar to that? They have the person with the dictionary who just checks that the spelling of the word. So Janice can be our Business Growth Club Countdown person. Yeah, Janice wouldn't need a dictionary because she knows how to spell everything, don't you, Janice? So exactly. Yeah. So we're here for you, and we have a lot of fun together on the show. We know our stuff, and we want to share
that stuff with you and give you the best opportunity you can while it's here.
Yeah, so excuse that self-congratulation and to talk about each other, but it's important that you know what's behind the offer and the people involved there as well. Check out our respective profiles, by the way. Stalk us, check us out, and see that you can reinforce that credibility there as well. So this is what the day is going to include. Now you might think that's a lot to achieve actually, but we're distilling out and pulling out the key elements there as well. So we've got obviously we start from obviously we're going to welcome everyone, say hello and all the rest of it, and we're going to go through your value proposition, which we referred to as well. So purpose is going to be featured very strongly in there. Obviously a break, we can't expect everyone just to devote 4 hours solid to that. I'm looking forward to a couple of aspects. The product and service development, I think, is going to be a really good element there as well. Numbers, by the way, will float through all of this, by the way. So we're not looking theory, we're talking application, and we're going to help you translate that into numbers, financial data, and how you actually do that to actually build a financial route map at the end as well.
Yeah, and this is a great opportunity for you. This is going to be a small group. So there's the wisdom of the group as well, all very confidential, working together.
Yeah.
You'll get some space to think. And, just to go, I've been thinking about doing this. What if I did that? And to think out loud, have some sounding boards, because it's just so good. Friends and family are wonderful and they're great to bounce ideas off. Sometimes fresh pair of eyes, fresh perspective can open so many channels of thinking and action that can serve you well. So there'll be time for that. But we're working smart. And we're here to focus on the important things that will help you get the revenue to where you want it to be this year. Maybe you had a great 2020. Maybe, you're catching up a bit from 2020. It doesn't matter. It's about starting from where you're at and making the most now of getting ready for the opportunity that lies ahead.
Yeah, and we definitely see there's opportunity out there, by the way. So a lot of people have started taking advantage of it. So, you've got to be geared up. You've got to be ready to grab that, because life will change again in March and April onwards. Just make sure your business is geared up to take advantage of that itself. Joe, I'm going to almost put you on the spot here. Is there a particular session yourself, by the way, you're looking forward to more than others?
I think they're all great sessions.
Yeah.
I think the value proposition, sorry if I can get my teeth in, the value proposition is a challenging thing, because when people are really thinking about what they're doing and where the value is, that's how they can make more money. And it's a really great question. So we're going to share some stuff in a little while about how, one of the ways we're going to do that. Product, service and customer, obviously core, but also pricing strategy, because pricing is multi-layered. It's not just about this is how much it cost, I'm going to mark it up by whatever percent and sell it at that. Pricing strategy is tied in with self-esteem, perception, markets, where you want to be, your product positioning, your service positioning,
psychology,
values.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people align their pricing to their personal values about what they will and won't do, and what they think is right to charge and what isn't, and all of that. That's a fascinating area as well. And I know that through lockdowns 1, 2 and 3, people have actually reevaluated what's important, what they want out of life, what they want from their business. And before we dive in again and just keep going as we have before, this is a really fantastic opportunity now to stop and go, okay, what sort of business do I want to create for the future? What have I learned about myself and about the business over the last few months? What do I want to achieve going forward? And this is a fantastic opportunity to do that. Now's the time, everyone. Whether you come to our Get It Done boot camp or not, now's the time to be really thinking that through and making the decisions.
Okay, so for you, ultimately, it's going to be more the value proposition, if I had to put you on the spot?
Yeah, I'd say so. And pricing, just because it's fascinating.
Yeah, I mean, from a personal point of view, it's probably the latter two. One, the pricing strategy, if I had to choose one, I like that one more in the sense of you're quite right. It's not a one size fits all. It's multi-labeled. And what you've got to walk away is, by the way, most companies and businesses will have a toolkit of pricing options depending on what their objectives are. So it's quite possible you may have a pricing approach, a strategy that is one thing in terms of cost-based, cost-driven. You may have another pricing strategy that meets those objectives that might be more sort of value-based. And I love it because it blends in. You need to know your numbers. You need to know some elements about psychology, some element about how your value proposition, and they've all got to connect there. So yeah, if I had to pick one, it'll probably be the latter one.
I mean, when you look at that overall as a roadmap, Mahmood, we are what we're people watching at home. What we're doing is really getting you to think about what it is you're offering. And then the key levers are, what are the products and services, who do you sell it to, and how much do you charge? And if you can do that cost effectively, they're the core things for business. So it's a really flying start that you'll get off to.
Yeah, okay. I like the evolution of the way that the things build onto each other. So if you don't understand the first part, you're going to find it very difficult to build a roadmap.
Yeah. And that's where extra brains and pairs of eyes come in for sure. So competitive advantage, which is an area we will explore with you for your business. We're not going to sit there and talk about or stand there and talk about Steve Jobs and what Elon Musk could do. This is about you and your businesses and things that are relevant to where you're at, your stage, your life, your size, and sector and so on. So it's about what is the value that you're offering, how rare and unique is it, how imitable or not is it, so how easy is it to copy, and how well are you set up to deliver that value. So this is a Vrio model, and we'll be exploring that with you, and you'll be getting all this down as we go on paper. You'll be working as we go.
And the answers to those questions, by the way, folks, will feed in directly and shape your pricing strategy as well. So that pricing strategy is going to come back and fit to that. So, these building blocks, and it's going to be some self-searching questions, by the way. You may not know the answers. If you don't know the answers, obviously that's a motivation of coming onto the boot camp, onto the Get It Done session.
Yeah. Oh, don't not come because you think I don't know the answers to those things. That's the whole point. We want you to learn all of these and use them to really get to where you want to be, more quickly, more easily, and do it in the right way so that you're building a business and you're growing a business in a way that is sustainable and will be resilient for the future. And Janice is saying a Vrio model, VRIO. Yes, that's what this is called. So it's because it's the acronym. And when we're thinking about what is competitive advantage, so many people go, and I hear it all the time with entrepreneurs. Mahmood, I'm sure you do too. Oh, well, it's because we offer really brilliant customer service, or well, it's me, people come for me, or because we're very innovative, and yes, and yes, and because let's walk through somebody saying that the value, the value proposition, the competitive advantage comes from themselves. Well, I'm sure there is value. They've got unique experience and so on. It's rare. You can't replicate yourself. It's not imitable in that, people can't copy it. But the thing is, you can't replicate it either. So if people are coming to the business for one person, that could be a limiting factor. If you want to be a solopreneur, which many people do, that's great. If that's so that's okay. And then how are you setting yourself up for success? And we've actually worked with in the Business Growth Club with clients who have they are solopreneurs and they want to stay there. And what does that competitive advantage look like? How can they make that resilient? Through to people who actually are solopreneurs and want to scale, and they've gone in a different direction. And of course, people with teams. So that's sort of how it works, but it is called the Vrio model.
Yeah, so to remember, this is all just to give you an insight under the bonnet, folks, as to what the session is going to be about. So don't expect a rant of educational theory there. This is all practical stuff. And I think there's a few things to remember. When we say we're brilliant, we're unique, we do that, you've got to be able to articulate that eventually in terms of things like marketing messages, communications, pricing. So you've got to go beyond the headline and actually break it down and distill it down even. So it's easier for you then to communicate that to an end client, to understand your purpose. If you start getting drift, you can get back into where you should be. And if you're going to upscale, you've got to be able to understand these things in a more sort of structured way on top of it.
Yeah, so these, I mean, we've got another slide actually. We'll move on to it, which sort of shows this. So if you've got a value and something that's valuable and rare, you've got a temporary competitive advantage. If it's hard to imitate, you can keep that competitive advantage going. It's sustainable. And if you're well organized, you set up in your business to really go for it, then that, you're on the money with that. You can rock and roll. That's a core competence for you. So that's why we're trying to help you to build those 4 things: being valuable, rare, hard to imitate, and well set up in your business model and your operation to absolutely go for it in the most efficient way possible.
Yeah, absolutely. And remember, we don't expect you to know all the answers to the questions. That's why we're here. No. But it's just giving you a framework of what you're going to experience. Yeah.
Now, we talked about this last week a bit, didn't we? Products and services.
Yeah, I like the pictorial representation about, again, those circles and blobs. Remember, it's about looking at products and services, think about, how you might segment them, how you might categorize them. And it's just a start conversation you have, by the way. So even though it's a very simple 2x2 matrix, this model is used very extensively amongst corporates, the big size and the smaller size here, just to understand what they're selling, understand their product portfolio and their service portfolio, just so they know how to manage it, what to invest, how it moves. So again, we're going to be applying one of these for yourselves as well.
Yeah, and when you're watching, do ask us if you've got any questions and say, why have you chosen that? Or I've come across that before and it helped or it didn't help, or whatever it is. Do let us know your thoughts on these things that we're sharing with you. And also, it's just good for your brain to look at, it's good for all our brains, it's good for my brain too, and Mahmood's, to look at business in different ways. So, just make sense of it, get some sticky notes and put them in different boxes. And it's not about sitting in front of a laptop and just typing out notes or working in front of spreadsheets. Actually, by using pictures and shapes and these different prompts, what these are is they're a sort of creative thinking prompt to get you to think about how your business is organized and where you can, it helps you see opportunity really clearly, I think.
Yeah, great question. Think about that from what we picked up from last week and this week here. So again, hopefully we're going to see your company on the actual day itself. If not, and you're going to catch up with the recording, think about your own business and think about what are your stars and what are your dogs and question marks. The best will, let me just, that's a great question from Janice. She shows some fantastic questions here. I'm going to share that with you.
Yes, so you missed the first few minutes. So Janice says, do you give any dates and prices for the business club? So we're running thank you, Janice. We're running a Get It Started boot camp. Get It Done boot camp, I should say, on the 18th of March between 10 and 2. We're running it on Webinar Jam, so we'll be there with you face to face. So we'll be able to see you and you us, and it's a really professional tool for doing those things. And the price, it's actually £99 plus VAT. But if you book within the next week, it's £79 plus VAT. And we'll share with you at the end of the show. We've got a summary of what's involved in that. But thank you for asking the question.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Janice.
So, so products and services, which ones, this will show you which ones to get behind, which ones you probably need to leave alone or even, decide one way or the other what you're going to do with them. And it's just very illuminating. So I'll leave that that there. I'm quite pleased I said illuminating at this time on a Tuesday evening.
You managed to get that very successfully with the teeth and everything else.
Yeah.
So remember, folks, one of the other, again, many reasons why these sort of things are done. Focus is really a key attribute to success there as well. Yes, I'm not saying you have to be in a straitjacket type environment, but we've got to avoid the shiny bauble syndrome of going all over the place here. So having a framework to decide what your business is about, which direction you're going, what the products and services you're offering, really gives you a bit of sanity, and it's a very anxiety lifting way of running things.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just a big relief off you. It's like a weight off your shoulders, because you think, right, that's it. No more round in the head. Thinking about stuff. It's there. It's down on paper. Yes, I might tweak it. I'll learn as I go. But I've actually got my thoughts organised, and it's all down. And you get all of these resources, and you'll be working on these for your business. So customer growth. We'll be looking at where you've got customer potential, which customers are priorities, where the opportunities are, how you can align what you're doing to drive more customer growth, and how you're actually going to put your customer growth plan into action. And don't forget, we say a lot on this show that we're all in business to solve a customer's problem. We're here to add value, and we're here to to make sure we keep a pace with our customers' changing wants and needs. And actually, it's likely that how people have been behaving over the last few months will start to change, and will certainly change early, late spring, early summer. So thinking that through and doing that with a bit of structure and a bit of guidance can be massively valuable. And
from the number side as well, folks, is that if you get a clear narrative in your mind, and you get a clear narrative documented on a piece of paper, knowing how your journey is going to unfold and how you want that journey to unfold, I promise you, formulating that into things like cash flows, which is absolutely critical, formulating that into how much profit am I going to make, is much easier to model and to do once you've got a clearer story and once you've got a clearer narrative. If you start to think the other way round, of saying, what's the forecast, without understanding the building blocks and your business narrative, I promise you it's going to be very tricky, and you will end up with a rubbish forecast. So narrative for me always comes first. The numbers reflect that narrative. Yeah, absolutely. And this approach, if you're thinking about doing something differently, or investing in something, or spending some money on marketing, or a new thing, whatever that new thing is, by doing this, you'll start to get clearer in terms of what the likely return on investment is going to be for your decisions, because you're mapping it out clearly, and therefore you can gauge whether or not you think it's an appropriate thing to do to spend that money, to take that action, and so on. So it really crystallizes and clarifies your thinking. Yeah, 100%. And remember, folks, in all of this, by the way, for me, any business owner, whether you are a solopreneur, whether you're somebody who's got ambitions beyond a certain size, whether you're on a life, whatever you do, you've got to remember your business is not you psychologically. You are the MD of your own business. So it's the same approach as if you're an MD of like a Tesla or of Apple. That same thought process that goes through to make that large scale business successful, you apply and you adapt it and you bring it down a size, but it's the same thought processes. So for me, those things that larger corporates are known for doing is not just their sole preserve. You've got to use those in your own businesses, whatever size. Yeah, it can really help to put a little bit of distance between you, your identity, and the business, even if normally they're like inextricably linked. I wonder what the AI will do with inextricably linked. But it's good just from time to time to stand back and put that separation in, and then you can put it back together again afterwards. But it just a few simple things here and there, some insights can really just level up your performance incredibly well. So and that's what we're looking for you. What's that? Yeah, so this is the one pager. And that's the outcome. Yeah, it'll all come together. So you work in
on those different areas, and we've given you some examples, and we'll do masterclasses, and we're going to talk you through it. So we'll take you step by step through everything as you do it, and so you'll come out with this one pager that you can have as an A3 on your wall with your vision, your goal, challenges, key metrics, and all of those good things. And in fact, I've spotted something there, Mahmood. Can you see it?
In terms of, is this a deliberate mistake, or is this?
It is, yes, and it's I'm going to hold my hands up. It's my mistake.
I will not hear that said on a live broadcast, Joe. Please watch your mouth. So, this is going to. What,
if anybody can spot it, and Janice or Jasmine probably can, then the first one to spot it will send a Betty's of Harrogate tea, biscuits and cake hamper too, a mini hamper. So there we go. Well done, Janice. Deborah's there as well. 2021 goal. Okay, you two were in first. So could you privately direct message where you want that going to? And I'll sort that out on behalf of me and Mahmood. I'll sort both of you out.
Well played, folks.
A Betty's tea and cake mini hamper. Okay, so yes. And so these are the things you'll come out with, a plan on a page that you can just look at, have in front of you. You can put it on your wall if you want, and it's there, ready for you.
Yeah, those visuals are really good. I mean, me and Joe both worked, with companies that do very extensive business plans of, multiple pages of documents, which is fine if it's going to a funder, if it's going to an investor. But actually having a visual on your board, and remember, by the way, when you walk away from this session on the 18th of March, do not worry if actually several months down the line you think actually there's an area that I haven't quite completed. I'm going to fill it in. I'm going to revisit that and whatever. This is a working, living, breathing, agile document.
Yeah.
But having it laid out there for you just really sort of funnels the mind.
And if you're working on it, afterwards, and if you've got any questions on the process and all of that, we are still accessible to you in terms of, any questions you've got about things that you want to build on with regards to this. So when you have, we've come onto the Get It Done boot camp, and you've got your key content that you want to go in there, we will actually get this printed. If you tell us what your content is, we'll get it printed and sent out to you as an A3 to go on your wall. You don't even have to print it.
Yeah, and another sort of rationale behind the whole thing about the Get It Done, because of people being time poor, our longer 10-week program, by the way, gives us that opportunity to really sort of dive deeper into that and sort of flesh it out to more things here as well. Mm. And again, look, me and Joe aren't going anywhere in terms of a Tuesday evening at 6 o'clock. We've got nothing else to do. So we're going to still be broadcasting, talk about this and other topics as time goes on.
Yeah. So we're here for you. And and you'll get this as a printout once you've got your content after the event to stick on your wall, and probably a spare copy as well in case you want to update it later. Good stuff, because we are about agile. So Mahmood always says, and I was just going to say, sorry, Mahmood, you always say that you agree with having a plan, but not planning. Have I got that the right way around?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think anyone that you know in your own lives, folks, that music, art, entertainment, sport, business, whatever discipline, anyone who's successful, whatever their defined level of success looks like to them, I've always had a plan. Think about going back to school. You think about exams, things that you might want to achieve in grade-wise. You would have had a mini plan or some description how to get to that end goal, that end objective. You're doing the same thing in business, maybe using different language, but you're planning and your brain is thinking about ahead and not always looking backwards.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so this is the we said we'd put it all on a page for you. So this is what you will get, and it's not, the full price is £99 plus VAT, but the early bird, if you book within the next week, is £79 plus VAT. And if you're interested in booking, then just let us know. You can direct message either me or Mahmood, or comment, and either way is fine, and we'll send you the link to sign up. And you'll get the face-to-face masterclasses in the agenda from 10 till 2 on the 18th of March. Of course, you'll get the slide deck and everything, all the resources that we use. You'll have your own workbook to use on the day. You'll get your printed 2021 growth plan poster as an A3, and you'll get the other digital resources in terms of the recording of the masterclasses and things that Mahmood and I will be delivering, and the community as well for in the weeks just after the boot camp. So that's the offer. I mean, I think we're really conscious that we wanted to make it accessible and affordable for everyone, and we do hope you can join us.
And folks, we will be sharing the links, by the way, about how to enrol. So we just wanted to talk to you about it tonight before the site goes live tomorrow morning, brackets tonight. So we're just going to review the landing pages, the actual sort of welcome pages. You can find out more details. So we wanted you to know the early bird price, as Jo said, is $79 plus VAT, and that will last until, I think off the top of my head, about 10th or 11th of March. If you book after 11th of March, then obviously the price will go up to the $99. And we had the option of making the price reflective of what we think the value is, but we also wanted people to actually, more importantly, do something with their own businesses, have skin in the game, make it accessible, make it affordable for everybody. So again, we think it's great value, and that pricing point fits the strategy and the approach that we want to make on this course.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got a couple of comments, Mahmood. We've got Jasmine is disappointed that she didn't spot the deliberate error for the cake, but never mind. We'll see what we can do in the future. You know, there'll be other. And yeah, and Janice said instead of face-to-face masterclasses, apparently we've got face-to-face mask classes. The AI's clearly got social distancing in mind as it's picking us up this evening. So we would love to have you with us. Come and join us.
Absolutely. Listen, folks, thank you very much for your company tonight. As always, and I'm trying to think, Jo, do we know when the official anniversary is, by the way?
It's in between next week and the week after.
So really, next year could be an anniversary show then?
It could be an anniversary show. It could. We could be doing some exciting things and have some fun and share some of that with people. I think that would be nice.
Let's see if we can get some stuff together that's got some deliberate mistakes in there.
Yeah. Okay. So let us know if you've got any questions. If you're thinking, do I have to do this or what about that? Just ask us. That's what we're here for, and we'd love to hear from you.
Fantastic.
And, until then, we'll see everybody next week, shall we?
Fantastic. We'll see you guys next week. Thank you very much for your company tonight. Yeah. And I think we're going to play out with some very jazzy music as well.
Yeah. Are you going to press the buttons? I'm
going to press the button. So let's see what we are. Sounds like a plan. Thanks for your goodies. Deborah, I'm just going to show this here because it's really nice, lovely, actually. What we know, people are watching and giving some very nice feedback. Deborah, thank you very much. That's very appreciated. It's always nice to get feedback and comments like that.
Thank you. I agree. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
And sounds like a plan. Okay. Courtesy of Yorkshire.
Yeah, absolutely. So, see you next time. Thanks.
See you next time, folks.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi there, welcome to today's Business Growth Club show. We are so pleased to have you here. The theme is growth marketing.
We're talking about actions and consequences today.
It's all about purpose.
Driving business growth with using KPIs.
We're talking money mindset.
The Growth Club, I mean, not to oversell it, but it's so well organised. So it was totally invaluable.
The Growth Club, coupled alongside with the masters that I'm doing at Strategic Leadership at the moment, both of those things happening collectively have definitely transformed, and the Growth Club did have a massive impact for our business.
What is it that attracted you to come to the Growth Club in the first place? Let me just start off with that.
Well, because it was the two of you, basically.